Hello, everyone. My name is Secreta. I'm your caseworker here at Dreamers Together, and myself and my teammate Ellie will be on answering any general AOS questions that you may have. Just please keep in mind if you have any DACA or AP related questions, just head on over to the DACA group. How are you doing, Ellie?
I'm doing good, Fikrada. How are you?
Good, hanging in there.
I'm going to go ahead and share this in the AOS group. There we go. Okay. Let's see if we get any questions. One of the things that I like to address every single time we come on here and do these lives are the that exemption for the 40 credits. We still have a lot of questions on the Facebook group regarding what should they do if they get an RFE for the 40 credits? Do they have to send the IA-64 or just continue with that exemption? What are your thoughts on that, P credit? Are you still seeing RFEs on these 40 credits?
Um, so far, I have not received an RFE yet, but I mean, I have received them in the past, but lately I have not. I guess it depends on the, uh, you know, it depends on the location. Whichever lockbox your packet is going to, and whichever contracting company, I guess, is, opening up the packet, reviewing the forms, and sending it to the officer. So it all depends on, I think, which office takes your documents.
Okay, that's very good to know. I actually did get one just this week again. I think it was probably Friday of last week actually that I did get one.
Which lockbox was it?
It was, I'm not sure out of the top of my head, but I can tell you. If I go back in here, I'll tell you where we sent it to. It's loading.
Okay. So, meanwhile, while you're waiting to let me know which lockbox the packet was sent to, we just basically have to, follow the steps that we've been taking. Is obviously you have to respond to that RFE. Follow the directions. Take the page out of the I-45 in which you were requesting the exemption, which you had marked, as well as your Social Security statement, and upload them to your USCIS portal where it asks for the evidence. And hopefully the officer will, he'll be able to access them directly, and he'll see that you have the 10 years and the 40 credits and issue an interview. That's what I've seen. That is the order that I've been seeing my cases going. Basically, once we get that RFE, we answer it by submitting the SSA statement and page 8 of the I-45, letting them know that we're requesting the exemption, and then they just go on. The officer, obviously, it's in the portal, it's in the area that asks for it, and then the officer issues the interview.
We actually do have a template for that. I believe if you go down to like the files tab here in the Facebook group, you will be able to see that there is an example of a template on how to respond, and it tells you exactly what you need to send. Don't send extra stuff, okay? So either again, you're going to do the exemption or you're going to respond by filling out an IA-64, but it's not exemption plus IA-64. But we do have a template. And coming back to that question about that RFE that I received sometime last week, it actually went to the Phoenix, Arizona lockbox, and I still got an RFE
Okay.
based on 40 credits. So I still have been getting those. Hopefully I have your luck soon and I don't see.
Well, listen, it's nothing. It's nothing we did wrong. It's like I said. Once we upload everything through the portal into their USCIS online account, officer has direct access, and he issues an interview.
Mhm.
I just, again, this goes back to everyone understanding that um, it's not the officer himself. It's the desk that is receiving these packages and just reviewing them, not knowing the laws, and then just automatically assuming that an I-864 is needed, and they issue the RFE. And then once obviously you get that RFE and you respond to it, the officer himself has access to that RFE because you upload the RFE into your USCIS online account, and then he obviously sees that you are um, eligible for the 10 years and the 40 credits, and he'll issue you an interview. Just please make sure you're eligible for the 10 years and the 40 credits. But like you said, Ellie, all of our cases that we have done have been eligible for the 10 years and the 40 credits, and they still get RFE'd, and we answer them, and they get issued interviews with no issues. Just please make sure, again, you have those 10 years and those 40 credits.
Hmm. Now, another question that I have been seeing a lot is how long after you submit that RFE do you get an answer? And I'm kind of seeing 5 to 6 months
Hmm.
after. So that
Yes.
RFE is definitely going to throw your case off.
Hmm.
I've
The,
already mentioned this before. Go ahead.
the good news about that is, yes, it's taking 5 to 6 months. Um, Once they pick that up, they issue you an interview. And I've seen a case where not they're not all the same, obviously, but I've seen a case where once they issue that interview, they make a decision pretty quickly.
That's good. I have said this in the past. It's look, we're trying to get this case moving. If you can avoid that RFE, even though you may have 40 credits,
Yeah.
I just prefer to send that IA-64 if your petition and sponsor makes enough, or if you can combine income, you, the beneficiary, and your spouse, the petition and sponsor, can combine income, then combine income. Just get rid of that RFE completely
Yeah.
now. If
Hmm.
your spouse does not make enough because they're probably self-employed or they just started a new job or they've been unemployed. A lot of things can prevent somebody from being unemployed and not bringing in income. That's okay. If you have the 40 credits, take the 40
Hmm.
credits, but no, you will get an RFE. But sometimes that's also the only option that some of these cases have, and that's okay. Just beware, you're going to get an RFE. Okay.
Yes.
We have a question en español. Okay, so si tienen preguntas, también pueden poner sus preguntas en español. Si hay algo lo que quieren que hablemos, mi compañera Fikreta only speaks English and Macedonian. And I know we said a few other languages last time, Fikreta. So if you guys have questions, you can drop them in Español, English. We're happy to contestar either one of them. Dice, hola, online veo que tengo cita programada, aún no llega el papel, es AOS de hija para mamá. ¿Es posible que la cancelen ellos aún o seguro tendré la entrevista? Si la entrevista es para hija, mamá, ya le enviaron la notificación, puede ver la notificación en este su cuenta en USCIS, va a tener eso, va a tener la entrevista programada, al menos que decidan que la van a cancelar y le mandarían una notificación, por lo cual yo no pienso que vaya a suceder. Posiblemente esa notificación se haya perdido por correo, así es que mantenga su cita, no la vaya a perder, tiene que ir usted, beneficiaria y hija, tienen que ir ambas, ¿ok? Si ya le dieron cita, es cita seguro, al menos que nuevamente a la mera hora lo decidan cancelar, pero no lo creo. Muchos casos ahorita, aunque sean de hijos a padres, tienen lo que es su entrevista también. ¿Ok? Así es que lleve una copia de la notificación, imprima la copia de la notificación de su sitio de USCIS. Hi, Gloria. Gloria is also an accredited rep. Um, you guys will see her in here in the AOS group as well as in the AP group. And if you've
Hi,
done
Glory.
AP, you've probably met her. Let's
Okay,
see.
so
I'll let you do that one. Oh,
okay. Hello, Rocio. Hi, I sent my packet. My petitioner received all the receipts, three numbers, despite I was in the forms. He received one of the reception letters, but it didn't contain the USCIS access number, so I can't add it to my USCIS account. I don't know where the other two letters are going to be sent or if they will contain that number. Okay, so she's possibly three of the notices with the receipts and maybe waiting for the rest, Ellie?
Yeah, possibly. USCIS does weird things.
Yeah, I always say, listen, I've had general question sessions where people have come across issues with receipt numbers, with receipts. It is best to reach out to them. Chat with Emma. She'll have you speak to an agent, and you can let the agent know what's going on. I only have these receipt numbers, or my form is missing a receipt number, and they can actually help you that way. Or you can call them at 1-800-375-5283. And again, an agent will help you if you're having any issues with your notices, any receipt numbers are missing, or you haven't received a notice. So either reach out to chat, with Emma, and she'll connect you to an agent, or call them. Luis, hello Luis. Did AOS with enough work credits and got RFE since May 6th and still waiting, no movement. Like we're going back to what Ellie said earlier, the RFEs are taking about 5 to 6 months for them to, review them and issue you an interview if you qualify with the 10 years and the 40 credits.
We're probably thinking if our timing is correct, hopefully it's not going to be 5 or 6 months, right? Hopefully, but what we are seeing is average 5 to 6
Yeah,
months. So probably November. It's
yeah,
it's that RFE slows the cases down a
yeah.
lot.
Now, it's not the same for everyone, so you may
Hmm.
possibly, move a little faster than that, but it's better to give you a longer time frame than, give you an expectation of a month. You're welcome, Rocio.
Okay.
Hi, Karina.
Hello, Karina. Drop your questions. Aprovechen.
Yeah.
Aprovechen que estamos aquí contestando preguntas porque, como les mencionaba, también a veces vemos que hacen preguntas y no siempre podemos responder a todos en los comentarios, pero sí los vemos, créanme. I'm saying that if they have questions, make sure that they're dropping them here because we are responding to their questions now. And I see a lot of their questions in the comment section, but it's too many for us to try to respond to every single person. And I know we have our mods that do a great job responding. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them here in the comment section during this live. We will come back every Wednesday to try to get 30 minutes in of questions. We also do respond if you post them on the Facebook group. Now make sure that the questions are adjustment of status related or citizenship related, okay? They have to be related to the topic we're discussing for them to be approved. Um, the other thing is you can also set up an appointment. My backdrop, right? I think it's this side. It has the number to the office and you can set up an appointment. You can also visit our website. We do a range of different services. We also have the other Facebook group, DACA/AP or DACA Dreamers Together Official, I believe. Um, so there's other, resources out there that also can help the community. We're going to practice your Spanish, Fikreta. ¿Se puede aplicar AP para military parole in place? Oh, perdón. Se puede aplicar para military parole in place and military deferred action at the same time. Este, yo diría que depende de qué es lo que está tratando de hacer, por cuál razón no calificaría para el ajuste de estatus. Yo le recomendaría que para deferred action, military deferred action, se asesore con un abogado. Puede encontrar una lista de abogados aquí en el grupo de Facebook. ¿Ok? Marta. Okay, Marta, this is my client. It says, I was given a verbal approval at my interview, but was given a letter saying your case is held for review. Is this normal? Marta, this is very normal. Now, one thing that I do tell my clients is that not everybody gets a verbal approval at their appointment. And that's okay. That's just the way that USCIS is working right now. Um, the longest that I have had to wait for an approval for one of my cases was like 53 days. That was almost 2 months after they went to their interview. And that right now is totally normal. So if you don't see your approval within the next few days, don't panic. It's going to take a few days to catch up in the system. But Marta, I'm going to be keeping an eye out. I actually was checking to see, and I hadn't seen an approval on your case either. So this is good to know. see. Oh, another one in Spanish. Si tienes una deportación voluntaria de pequeño, puedes aplicar para AP. Alex, la respuesta simple es sí, pero te voy a pedir que te regreses o te regreses, que vayas al grupo de DACA Official, ahí vas a poder encontrar más información acerca de tu caso, ¿ok? Pero la respuesta sencilla, simple es sí. Dice, pedí una FOIA por USCI y no aparece una petición 245 y pagué por las huellas con abogado para mi esposo. Es posible que aparezca con la petición del patrón en el 2000. ¿Qué tipo de documentación tiene para el 245i? What she's asking for is that she requested a FOIA from USCIS and there's not, they can't find the 245I petition. She paid for the biometrics with an attorney for her husband. Is it possible that that petition can come up? And it was an employer petition back in 2000.
In the FOIA, yes, it can come up in the FOIA. You have to actually make sure that sometimes people don't do the FOIAs correctly. There is a FOIA you can literally get. It's a pretty quick one too. It goes by what you tell them based on your submission. And then there's the FOIA, obviously the CBP FOIA. That you, if you get a FOIA back in a month or in a few weeks, and then you know you didn't do it right. You probably submitted information, and that's what they're going by. But if your FOIA is taking some time and it comes back, and it will literally come back with your DACA history, okay, with any petitions that were filed, if any were filed on your behalf back in the day. But if you cannot locate the 245I, maybe one of your parents, um, have them obtain a CBP and a OBIM FOIA.
It
Um,
was through an employer. I
oh, I'm
think that's
sorry,
the
an
issue. They
employer,
run an
yes.
employer. Hmm.
Okay, so um, was it this individual theirself, or was it maybe like a family member who did it through an employer, and now he can become a derivative to that case? How is this case going?
Ujú. La pregunta de ella es, ¿quién era el beneficiario directo de esta petición? ¿Era su esposo o era un padre de su esposo y su esposo es quien contaría con la 245i? Déjenos saber porque si es bajo uno de los padres de su esposo, entonces tienen que correr ese FOIA bajo el nombre del padre, no el nombre del derivado, sino del nombre del beneficiario directo. For this question, they have to do under the direct beneficiary, not the derivative.
Correct. I had a case where we needed to pull a FOIA to see if the derivative qualified under 245I. And what we did was we went to the beneficiary, which was her mother. We pulled that FOIA through her, and we were able to find out, what was filed back in the day under 245I with that petition, and it helped the derivative. So if your parents, were eligible back in the day when 245I was around, and an employer filed for them, or a family member, a sibling, then you may be covered. But the only way you can truly find out is by doing a FOIA on your parents to see, you know, the priority date when that petition was filed, whether it was filed under 245I. And then if, that petition, if that petition was filed correctly, even though it wasn't approved, if it was filed correctly, then you can be a derivative, but you have to run that FOIA first to see, if it was filed under 245I and if it was filed correctly.
Ujú.
And
Thank you,
again,
Fikrera.
it's going back to the beneficiary because you are the derivative. That petition was filed for your parents and you are a
Ujú.
derivative. So obviously it would be under your parents' information.
I'm gonna read this one for you, Fikrera.
Okay.
It says no question, but Fikrera has been amazing helping me with my AOS.
Hi, Mauricio. How are you?
Mhm.
Yes, and he's been great at getting me the documents that I need and communicating. Hey, give me time, or I need to get this to you. So I'll see you soon for your closing, Horacio. Thank you. Have a great
And
day.
approval.
Yes. Mhm.
Ok, esta dice, una persona que trabaja con un fake social y con su nombre legal, ¿qué posibilidad hay que no pueda aplicar para hacerse ciudadano? Ceci, yo le recomendaría que se asesore con un abogado. Hay mucha información que se necesitaría para poder determinar qué riesgos tendría su caso. Okay. For this one, she's asking about working with a made-up number
Hmm.
and her name. So they'll need an attorney for that. There's a lot of more
Yes.
information needed for to determine how big of a risk there would be.
Yes. You know what? Yes. Whether it belongs to someone or not, an attorney can figure all that out for you.
Hmm.
Hello, Felipe. Is it safe to travel within the United States? Um, you can travel. Just keep your documents on you and travel.
Hmm. One thing that's I will say is controversial, and I know we don't do controversial, is where are you traveling and why are you traveling? Are you going to give a state or what a red state your money? That's kind of one thing that we also have to think about is some of these states they're very anti-immigrant, and we go and we spend thousands of dollars there. So
Yes.
just
And again, it's you know, right now we're just kind of leaving the it's okay to safe, take your document and travel. We're just, you know,
yeah, yeah, it's
showing
okay.
the opinion. Yeah. I
It's
mean,
okay to
yeah,
travel.
just take your documents. If you need to travel, you need to travel. Obviously, make sure you're current with DACA and because it protects you and obviously keep these documents on you. And, if you have to travel, you have to travel. Um, but just keep in mind what Ellie just said as well.
Yep. But at the end of the day, that's your decision.
Hmm.
Just yes, travel safely. Okay. Okay, another one in Spanish. Ya tenemos PIP, pero se venció y aplicamos para Military Deferred Action en noviembre y aún no hemos recibido aprobación o denegación. Um, yo le recomendaría a Jess que se asesore con un abogado. For deferred military, deferred action, an attorney. Reach out to an attorney, and we have the list of vetted attorneys here. Okay. They already have a parole in place. It expired and they've applied for military deferred action. So they already have a pending case. Contacten a un abogado. Si están trabajando con un abogado, vuelvan a contactar el abogado o la oficina quien les está ayudando con estas peticiones. Okay, let's see. We're going to the next one. You want to do this one?
I need to renew my DACA. I live in Texas. Can I still apply? Am I still getting 2 years? You can still renew your DACA. So go ahead and renew your DACA ASAP, especially if you need to renew it.
And as of right now, it's still 2 years. Okay, there's
Yes.
nothing saying that you're not going to get 2 years. Well, 2 years from the day that you renew. Okay, not 2 years from the date it expires plus 2 new years on top of it. This one actually is something that I saw in the Facebook group. It says from posts I've seen the Silva surgeon we went to is under review and I believe under investigation per the questions they've been asking. Should I get and take a new medical exam to my interview to be a step ahead or just wait what they see? If you have seen, and I think if I'm not mistaken, if this is the case that I was seeing here, what do you think, Vikrita? I would just take a new medical exam. What
Yeah.
would you do?
You don't want to risk it. Just take a new one.
Yeah. At this point, you're just so close.
Yeah. You don't want to. Basically, they're going to RFE you for a medic, or they could deny you for a medical, or they can RFE you. So, um, you don't want to risk it.
Now, if you don't want to take your medical exam, like Vikrita says, they can send you an RFE, and then at that moment, you'll have to just do your medical and take it. But I
Yeah.
mean, I would say depends how much these medical exams are also because some of these prices are outrageous.
Yeah. Um, or, I mean, the medical exam that you did, take it to, I guess, take all your tests and everything to another civil surgeon, see if they'll fill it out, fill out the paperwork correctly based on that previous medical that you had done and all of your testing. And maybe you could just fill out all the forms and, fill everything out correctly.
Hmm.
But I mean, that's a tricky one because, you don't want to be denied or RFI'd for a medical. You're like literally, you're there basically. You're right at the finish line. You know what I mean? You're going to set yourself back a bit.
Hmm.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess I would just maybe call around and explain, that I'm worried that, my exam maybe isn't filled out correctly or whatnot, and if maybe a civil surgeon can do like a, you know, where he can, obviously your exams are done, but where he can maybe consult with you and see if he can help you out and fill out the forms correctly, based on all the tests you have done, and obviously the immunization history.
Mhm.
Actually, I've had one case, family member. Um, she had some of the tests done at her primary care, and the civil surgeon actually accepted it. The fact that she had some of the tests that the civil surgeon would normally do, like let's just say the TB test, she had done it at her PCP. He actually took those results and he did the paperwork for her and he documented those results. So I mean, call, ask, take all the your paperwork, the results, take it all with you and see if they can help you.
Ian Pérez dice, solo es una petición para el caso. ¿Es el recibo? ¿Es el recibo el I-140 o qué tipo de documentos? Am, Porque posiblemente ese documento que tenga le pueda ayudar, no necesariamente necesita tener el recibo. Es que depende. She's saying that she has the petition for the case, going back to the 245I, and it's for her spouse. Her spouse was the direct beneficiary. But remember, we talked about this that we don't necessarily have to have the I-140, the approval or the receipt number.
Hmm.
There may be other documentation that could be supplemented that could still show that he had
Yes.
a petition filed before April of 2001. Okay.
Yep. Hello, Carol. Can you explain about the 40 credits? My son will be 21 next year, but he doesn't work, only as a student from the university. Okay, so if you have 10 years of work and you have worked with authorization all 10 years and you have filed your taxes, then you may qualify for the exemption. The only way to find out if you qualify to be exempt from your petitioner having to file the traditional 864 is to go onto the SSA website and download your social security statement. And that statement, you'll, tally up how many years of work you have and make sure you have a correct amount, you know, which equals like 4 credits a year. 10 years of work, 4 credits a year. 10 years of work, 4 credits a year, that equals the 40 credits. If your social security statement explains that you have the 10 years and the 40 credits, then your petitioner will not need to submit any of his financial information. You would take that social security statement and you would submit that in your packet along with all your EAD cards front and back. And you would ask for the exemption on the I-485 that that's letting them know that your petitioner doesn't need to file the traditional 864 because you are asking to be exempt because you have the 10 years and the 40 credits.
But again, be prepared because if, maybe hopefully by next year they've already learned more on how to scan these items and they're not sending out RFEs.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen next year, right? But if it were to be within the next few months, you may still get an RFE. So hopefully next year they are not having this issue
Yeah,
anymore.
hopefully. You know what I want you guys to do is, you know, drop us a message in our Facebook group. Let us know if any of you filed for the exemption with your EAD cards and the Social Security statement, and you did not get an RFE. So we want to
Yeah.
know if any of you um, you know, requested the exemption on the I-485 and you submitted your EAD cards and your Social Security statement, and you did not get an interview. We definitely want to know.
We would. We do want to know. That kind of lets everybody know what they're looking for. So this is what helps everybody. Okay, let us know. What does your
And then,
process looks like?
yeah, and then let's see which lockbox is the one that's issuing them the most. Um, all right, Ali, I think this one's for you.
That was the one about the husband and the employment, the 245A.
Okay.
We're going to skip all of the DACA questions. Please go back to the DACA AP group, okay? There's a lot of information on DACA. This group is for the AOS. So make sure that you are getting, or you are also in the other Facebook group, okay?
Oh, hi, Kat. How are you? I have to travel for an emergency situation. I just received my combo card. Is it safe? People are still traveling with their combo cards. Um, like our group, we also encourage, if you can do AP, if you don't have that legal entry, do AP. And obviously, you have a AOS case that's pending, and you can travel with your combo card. Annabelle, if I am a U.S. citizen, can I sponsor my parent with a previous deportation order? Um, your parent has to make sure that order was terminated. Um, so definitely go to an attorney, and they can help you with that. We have a whole list in our AOS Facebook group of great vetted attorneys. You do not want to petition for your parent if they have a deportation order that is administratively closed, because that doesn't mean that it's terminated or it's dismissed. It just means it was closed and it was put back on the shelf, or if it's open. So you definitely want to go to an attorney, so they can, if she's eligible for it to be terminated, or whatever the case. You do not want to move forward without knowing the status of that deportation order, and an attorney can help you with this.
Mhm. Also, I do want to add that I know that a lot of you will be becoming citizens here within the next few months, the next few years. Remember that in order for you to petition your parents, they have to have a legal entry. They have to
Yes.
have overstayed on a visa. They had to have completed AP. If they have TPS, they need to do AP. If your parents have DACA, because I know some of us parents also qualified for DACA. I've seen a couple of cases where mom and daughter got DACA. Make sure that your parents have applied for AP if they qualify for DACA, that they did AP. If unfortunately they don't have a legal entry or even the 245I protection that we were talking about as derivatives from a prior petition, if they have 245I, that will also count as their legal entry. But if there's no legal entry whatsoever, they are not eligible for adjustment of status. It will be consular process. We don't really do consular process. We recommend reaching out to an attorney, but be very aware. Leaving for consular process without an approved waiver will trigger a 3-year ban or a 10-year ban, depending on how long they've been in the States without unlawful presence. It's a whole different process, so be very careful with that.
Yes. Hello, Oscar. Is it safe to travel internationally with green cards? Yeah. I mean, you know, it's your green card. You can travel with it. Just obviously make sure that it's valid and you have a valid passport with it as well. Myrna, hello, Myrna. What would they question why I got a new one? Is this like a DACA question?
This one was the medical exam, the one we were talking
Oh,
about.
mhm.
Yes.
um, I don't think so, because obviously, they'll ask you for it usually at your interview if they have an issue with your medical. Just be prepared. Just go in and be prepared in case they ask for it. I know that it is a costly process, but call around, see if you can get somebody to fill out the forms for you, and be prepared. If you truly have a concern for your medical, you can also, I mean, book a general question session with us. Maybe we could take a look at it for you if you have a copy of it. But obviously, there's no guarantees when it comes to the medical. So just go in there prepared, because again, you don't want to. You're right there. You're right at the finish line. You don't want to be set back for a medical. This is for you, Ellie.
It's the same video. The same video. I think we posted that video 21, 22. It's still the same questions. The only thing that changes is the amount. I think it went from 495 to 555, but it's going to be the same question, Ian.
Okay. You're welcome, Carol.
Do you have any appointments to be credit? Because it is 11:34. I lost track of time.
You know what? Let's just get to this question, and then we definitely have to go. Gayla, I got an RFU last week for the 40 credits, so not yet. LOL. Oh, okay.
She's
Thank you for letting us know.
yeah.
Well, go ahead and follow the directions and respond to it. You're welcome,
Okay,
Kat.
this one is the last one. Ahora
Okay.
sí. Mandé mi paquete de iOS, pero en la pregunta si había trabajado antes sin permiso. para trabajar. Puse que no, se me olvidó que en un año se había trabajado. ¿Qué puedo hacer? Cuando vayas en tu entrevista, te hagan esa pregunta, contesta con la verdad, diles, oh, sí trabajé. No tienes que dar muchos detalles, pero en tu entrevista vas a poder corregir esa pregunta. She forgot that she had worked without an authorized EAD. So when she goes to her interview, all she has to do is correct that question. Okay? Not much details need to be given, but just correct it. Make sure you answer truthfully.
Yes.
Okay, that's all the questions. So, Fikrita, I will be seeing you, Fikrita, later on today, but we will be back next Wednesday. So, everybody tune in, same time. Okay,
All right. Bye bye. Take care.
bye.